Hey, Divine Leader, and welcome to this episode on scribing your book at the speed of light. We're going to dive into how you can get your book done in months or weeks rather than years. And I'm really excited to be joined by Kim van de Sande to really dive into this topic. Welcome, Kim. So happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Daniela.
Yeah, so Kim is one of our Divine Transmissions clients. She's a part of the Ascended Master Academy and one of our Scribes of Light Press authors. And her forthcoming book is Activating the Flower of Love, a sacred guide to manifesting your deepest desires and your highest calling. And so I'm excited that we'll also have the opportunity to dive into a little bit more about Kim's journey as a client in Divine Transmissions, as scribing her book at the speed of light, and then also her body of work. And so, Kim, as we're starting here, one of the things that I know and what we focus on as well with our clients is that when you're connected to source, when you're connected to higher wisdom and guidance, and you scribe your book through connection, things can happen at the speed of light. So would you share a little bit about your journey with your book and our work together?
Yeah, of course. I really loved working. I started my journey with Divine Transmissions with DLA. And it was just for me, I quitted my job in architecture and I was a homestay mom. And I really felt that calling within me to bring my gifts wider than I had ever done before. And at that point, Divine Transmissions came on my path, and I was just naturally guided to follow DLA. And it was such a powerful journey of really awakening my light and stepping more fully into who I am. And it was just a natural flow of going into the Magdalene codes, embracing all of me with love, making everything even more magnetic and more clear. And then AMA was just a natural flow. And it really, the thing I was looking for was, I have a young family. I was starting my business. I wanted to more fully awaken myself and raise my consciousness. But how do I do that? How do I juggle all these different things? And that is what I loved about the frequencies of AMA that called me to create with source and to create with the speed of light and to create in a most aligned and optimal way. And that is what really happened. It's really amazing how when I joined AMA and I dived into the teachings of AMA, of becoming into the lineage of thought and the scribing, that my book came only in 20 hours. And I was just amazed about, I like the speed of light, but this was really very powerful how it came in and how it just flowed through me. So it's really by being in these containers supported by these frequencies, you really supported to just get the most out of yourself and in the most efficient way. Because with these 20 hours, I still had time to do things with my family and to work on my business. So it was not only focusing on one area of my life, but it was elevating all. And that's really amazing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure. So in case folks are wondering, like, what's DLA? That's our Divine Light Activation Business Upgrade Program. And then AMA is the Ascended Master Academy. And really, you know, what you're talking about, and that's also why I love book for seasoned, established entrepreneurs, and also those that are emerging global leaders like you, to be able to start your business and your work with a unique body of work, rather than like when I started, I taught my mentors, I learned Reiki and massage and taught Reiki and massage, like I taught their modalities, but to really start with your unique body of work based business at opus level, and to really have this accelerated process of, like you said, having your book come in 20 hours. And so I think the way that was alive for you or aligned for you was that you took like 2 weeks and had 2 hours a day, and that's the 20 hours. And then you had your first draft. So would you talk a little bit more about just that process for you and how it flowed, and just share a little bit more about that.
Of course. it was first, before I started, I needed to release the old ways of creating, because I know that when I started, I was still in these old structures, and I was thinking I need to have the structure outline of my book. I need to know chapter 1, I need to know chapter 2. And that is what AMA guided me through. It was really connecting to myself, my authentic self, and to source, and finding my own voice, and just allowing the channel, me, to being the channel that wants to flow through me. And when I allowed myself to open up and to just be with me, committed those 2 hours a day, channeling whatever wanted to come through. And suddenly my whole book came through, but it didn't come in as chapter 1 or 2. It came in like it was aligned for the book. And through the process of the channelings, I grew as well, because the teachings within my book, within the different chapters, supported me to strengthen my foundation, to strengthen my self-awareness, and to strengthen also me being more visible with what came through. So, and that's really what I loved about AMA. It just allowed me to really be in this connection with source, to really be in this scribing energy and just be centered from that, and to just let it flow. And when you really co-create with these higher frequencies, it moves, it flows, it just comes through, and it's really, powerful. But also finding your own authentic voice. And I'm really thankful that you supported me in that, because in the end, you come here to be you, and you come here to contribute in your own unique way. And that is what this journey supported me, to find my authentic voice and to find the contribution I am here to bring, and also to have the confidence and the support to share that. Because while you create a book or a program, it also invites you to move past your slow vibrations. And that is also what my book supported me in, because while I was scribing, while I was channeling, all these fears came up, like being more visible, but also, who am I to spread these teachings? Do I not have to have a degree in sharing what I'm sharing? And so I'm really thankful that you supported us to move through that, to really just be my authentic self and to let that shine in a way that is aligned for me. And that resulted in a book very quickly. So it's really amazing what can happen if you're really able and leading yourself through the limiting beliefs that come up while you create, and to step more fully into the light and the contribution. So thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's so many like nuggets there that I feel like we could dive into. And the one that I really want to highlight is the unlearning process. And I know that you work with new earth entrepreneurs, and really also that on the leading wave. And there is a lot of unlearning. And that's also one of the things that I love about creating a book, from our connection to our higher self, to source, to beings of light, is that there really is that unlearning of kind of the old paradigm writing stuff. Like I remember one time I was in high school, I think, and it was either high school or college, but I think it was high school, and I had some paper due, and I was sitting at the dining room table with my mom, and I was just crying, like, I can't write this, and I was starting everything like, well, thousands of years ago, men, blah, 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 like trying to follow outlines. Like, I'm just not a linear creator, although I can create linearly. I'm an organic creator. I think it's also a very feminine way where we spiral rather than going necessarily for a straight line. I know you and I know myself, we have a lot of divine masculine energy and know how to get stuff done. And yet what you're talking about is really that organic creation where there's being tapped into a divine order that is beyond and inclusive of our intellectual mind. So in terms of limiting beliefs, there is this unlearning of the old paradigm, kind of hoo-ha, old writing stuff, which can be useful. Like for some of our Scribes of Light authors, we do go through like, okay, here's an outline and here's the 3 points. And then that can be really beneficial because not everybody creates in the same way. And yet when there's that kind of new paradigm way of flowing and moving forward, then things can happen like even more quickly. So what other kinds of unlearnings would you say are a part of this creation process that you went through or that you see with your clients? Like, because in some ways it is also about letting go of control, or there's a shift about being hypervigilant and trying to control things. Yeah.
when you mentioned the question, that is what came up for me. Really having the trust, surrendering to a higher source, but also acknowledging your own role in that. You are the physical embodiment of those frequencies. You are the vessel through which those energies can come through. But for me, it was especially a process in trusting and just also aligning myself to, I want to create and I want to be in this energy, because if I didn't do that each day, if I didn't lead myself to, I'm committed to these 2 hours, it might not have come. But in those 2 hours, to really be open, even if I would just be still for 2 hours, I was in communication and I was committing myself to creating something that was bigger than my physical body. So for me, it was really what I needed to unlearn was really to have trust and to not have the structure that we have learned from chapter 1 or the outline, but also things like being visible is scary, or sharing these teachings, or sharing channeling in general, to really trust that the co-creation, when you align yourself to these divine frequencies, that you are being supported in ways that go beyond our physical mind. And what I really needed to unlearn was also for me to have a degree in what I would do or what I would share, because it are divine frequencies, and sometimes they do not need to understand with our logical minds. And one other thing I wanted to share is really, for me, the process, but also my book is about that, stepping into your divine feminine energy of receiving. And that is just energetically to just receive and not already have the outline in the how, what, and why. And that's really about what the new earth way of being is, being in the now moment, just receiving the inspiration and allowing the inspiration to grow. And that is also what I've noticed with my own book process. By me taking the first step to create and to channel, a new step opened up. But if I didn't take the first step, it would not become more clear. So each time I received a new puzzle piece, and I could create a book. And that's really, instead of me already having the end goal, to just see the now moment and to step in each new aligned step, and from there create a new set point and move forward. And that's really something I think of the new earth, to not have the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan, but to really be in the now moment, and to let the now moment inform you over what is aligned and what is inspired and what brings you joy and excitement. I think that's those are powerful things where we all are invited to be more in those divine feminine frequencies, receiving and moving from this aligned space from within.
I love as well that what Toth and the Council of Light often speak about, how you use your legacy work to create your legacy work. And that from my perspective, one of your deepest desires was to answer the highest calling, and that's what your book's about, that's what your business is about, and that your path was, like so many of us as well, when we get to an evolutionary stage in consciousness, to actually birth your own body of work that's so customized to your soul's path and you as a divine being and what you require. And it's so accelerated. Like if we look at, I don't know what it's been, but maybe less than a year, or it'll be 15 months from like when we started an AMA to when your book's published, because there's the draft and then, all those things. But that's really an accelerated path. And, that's another thing as well, that our messages are required in a way, not from any place of urgency or the sky is falling, but from a place of currency, like it being current, so that we get our message out in real time, rather than the old way of getting a book is like, maybe you have the idea and it's 10 years later when the book comes out, that it's like, who right now, for those of you that are tuning in here, like who right now needs your book, or they're asking for it sooner than later. And then that can also be a way of going, okay, it's getting it done rather than perfect. And that was certainly, I think, another common unlearning for a lot of individuals. The other thing I want to say about that, and then I'd love to hear more about your book and share with everyone about your book, is that there is this Yeah, it like came in and left. That's so funny. Okay, well, if I get it back, I'll get it back. So let's go into, oh, I know what it was. So it's like we were talking about the divine feminine and creating through connection and then having that first draft. And then there still is structure, like it's always in sacred union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine and the divine wholeness. And so your first draft comes in, and then at some point there still is, okay, this is chapter 1, this is chapter 2. There still is like, here's the promise of the book or the synopsis, because I can also hear those some that are tuning in going, well, I love an outline and I want to know the structure. It's like that's going to come in at some point, and it's also just being open to the order of things in the best way, in the highest creation. So is there anything else that you would add about that piece of it?
Yes, it's interesting you mentioned it, because after I channeled those, I think it were almost 80,000 words, then comes the process where you align it in the right order. So it becomes a book that is understandable. But it's interesting because the first part of my book supports people to really create a strong foundation, but also to clear the slower vibrations. And this part of the book, for me and for my editor, was the part that also took us the most slower vibrations, or took us the most time to align this part. And well, that second part where you activate your divine potential and step more fully into your light, and the flower of love supports you, that piece just came in and it flowed. So it's interesting how also the process of aligning then the chapters in the right order, how the teachings out of the book also through the creating process to show you that. But that's true. After I channeled the words, we needed to place it in the right order. The structures came in, the outline came in, all the other things. But it is really interesting to first have the content or the general idea, and to have the openness that everything can still be created, instead of already, it's almost like to contract your field with it needs to be like this or to be expanded, and to just receive. And from that receiving, that's also, again, the divine feminine, receiving the energy and then bring it into form through the divine masculine. So also the book creation process, to first have the divine feminine receiving, and then have the more structured outline, but informed from the inspiration, informed from within, instead of starting with the outline. And that sometimes stops your creative flow, or it puts a lot of pressure on yourself because you really wanted to have it right. And so that will be my advice, to just be open and to be connected, and to allow whatever wants to flow through without judgment, because that is also a powerful thing that can happen. While you channel, you judge what comes through. So it's a powerful process that really strengthens your confidence, but also strengthens your ability to bring it out into the world. So there's so much to share about this topic, but yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's reminding me of when we would go to Egypt and bring groups to Egypt. And the few weeks before we would go, I just would have all of this slower vibrational stuff coming to the surface. And at first I didn't really kind of like piece it together. I'm going, okay, I'm going through the transformation that's going to happen on the journey. And that's also a part of it, that you are pioneering your global movement, your unique body of work business, and you're the first one. Like, you're the one that has the wisdom, which circles back to kind of that, oh, I need another degree, which is another reason why people stop themselves. It's like, oh, I'm not ready for this book, I got to take another program or whatever, I don't have this degree. To recognizing that you also have so much experience in the higher planes and past lives, and that you're the only one that can bring this particular unique message forward in the way that you can. So another reason why I'm delighted to have you on the podcast is to really spotlight your work, because I am a champion of your mission and your book and your body of work. And really also, it's part of my vision of New Earth business, that we can be lighthouses to one another's lighthouses, and really, someone that may be drawn to me is also finding out about you and all of that kind of stuff. So you shared a little bit about the flower of love. And the other thing that I really wanted to talk about with this book, because I got so excited about this as a modality, is that there's the flower of life, like you have behind you. And the flower of life is something that, you know, it's in Egypt, and it's known. And yet the flower of love and activating the flower of love, and you've been talking about it, is really like activating in some ways the divine feminine flower of light, which is the flower of love, and like that seed of creation. So would you share a little bit more about activating the flower of love? And then I'd love as well for us to share a brief meditation from the book so folks can experience a little bit.
Yes. The flower of love is really, it invites you to connect to these deep layers of yourself, to release the layers of illusion and distortions, and to really connect to the essence of you, and to, from the essence of you, share your gifts with the world or share your light. But it really supports you to become who you are. And through you becoming who you are in your divine essence is what makes you highly magnetic for what you desire. So it's also, if you would see the flower of life, there is so much more potential that is within these structures if you can blend it with love. So what the flower of love does, it supports you with a powerful field of divine love, with frequencies and codes of love, so you can deepen the love for yourself and then deepen the love for others. And through love, because love is so powerful and magnetic, you are able to more quickly create the life of your dreams. But it starts by first fully accepting yourself, loving yourself, going through these layers of illusion and distortions, not to dive into the story, but to release them in a loving way, and then connecting back to your divine blueprint, to your structure, to your flower of life, and to find out what is within that, and to really live from this divine feminine way of really receiving the energy, receiving the creativity, really allowing yourself to be nurtured and loved, and from that step more fully into what you came here to be. And that is what will bring you the life that gives you the fulfillment, and it will bring you joy and excitement, but also abundance. Because when you really love yourself, when you are in love with life, that is what makes you magnetic. That is what will attract the abundance you are looking for. And not only in one area, but you feeling love for yourself makes you energized, makes you, people want to be with you, want to find out what is this beautiful magic that she is sharing, or he. And it's so important to connect to yourself. So it's really first a journey into self, to really the seed of your creation, the original codes that you came here with on the Earth Star, and to let it grow and expand with love, with light, and from that step more fully into your light, step more fully into your mission. So yeah, there's a lot of magic and wisdom within these teachings. So there are activations and there are exercises, and it's just, you can see it like a living transmission. So while you're reading the book, it just interacts with you, and it just sends you codes and frequencies of love and amplifying your love field. So it's just a big love bundle. Yes.
Yeah. And so what's the meditation, the activation that you're going to share here with us today?
I have chosen the Divine Wholeness Activation. So I have it with me, and I wanted to support you with that. It is an activation out of my book. So if you are ready, I would invite you to just for now, close your eyes and just feel how your feet are connected with Mother Earth. And just take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And visualize, feel, sense how a beautiful stream of divine light comes from the universe down into your crown, at the top of your head, filling your whole field with these divine love frequencies and codes, filling your head and your shoulders, your arms and your hands, filling your heart and your belly, your legs and your feet. And then this beautiful stream goes down into the center of the earth. And in the beautiful center of the earth, there is a beautiful crystal that sends a beam of light back up. And this beam of light enters your field at your feet. and fills your whole body and your whole field with the loving and nourishing energies of Mother Earth. And just allow this stream of light to go up through your legs, your belly, your heart, filling up your arms and your hands, going up to your head and then into the universe. And you are now standing in the middle of these divine love frequencies, the nurturing, grounding, loving energy of Mother Earth from below, and the nurturing, divine love energies of Father Sky from above. And you are in the middle, as sender and receiver of these divine love frequencies. And while you are standing here, your field gets energized. It activates a deep remembering of love within you. Now I would invite you to just see a beautiful ball of light around you, a ball of energy. And within this ball of energy, there are all your life experiences. There is the earth, the star, the galaxies, the universe, all centered within this ball. And you are standing in the middle as a beautiful radiant star. And just for a moment, allow yourself to become aware of what is within this ball. To become aware of the experiences seen from your human mind, from your ego mind, as positive or negative. But within this ball of energy, there is wholeness, there is oneness. All is connected. And you are this radiant star that is connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky, standing in the middle, radiating your light at all these experiences, but also radiating your light to the earth, to the stars, the galaxies, the moon, the sun. You are standing in the center of this universe, of this beautiful ball of energy. And for now, I want to invite you to just from your heart, while you are receiving loving and nurturing energies from Mother Earth and Father Sky, to send these loving energies to your life experiences. You do not have to dive into the story, but just see yourself radiating love and light into every experience in every area. You being this beam of love and light frequencies, this radiant star. But also feel how you are being supported in this now moment, supported by the galaxy, by the universe, supported by Mother Earth. And how you are this channel that send these divine frequencies out. So through your connection, you are able to send these frequencies of love and light. Through your beingness here on the Earth star, you are able to transmit these divine love frequencies. And there's nothing you have to do. It's just allowing and being. And just feel how your body feels more energized, how you are feeling more relaxed, more in the now moment. And this is just reminding you of your deservingness to be loved, to receive love, to give love, but also to be in this energy of receiving and giving, receiving inspiration, receiving light, receiving codes, and not from a place of, I need to do something, but just from a place of being. So just see, if you would see this ball, see all your life experiences blend together. And if you would see the yin and yang sign, you also have those both together create wholeness. And what this activation is reminding you of is that you are also whole. That all your life experiences, seen from your human mind, good or bad, create wholeness in your being. They teach you something, they learn you something, they allow you to elevate, they allow you to connect to a deeper desire, they allow you to grow and expand. And it's just inviting you to see your reality, to see your experiences from this place of wholeness, from this place of you being connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky, radiating light. And just allow yourself to be. Take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth to just relax and anchor these divine frequencies within your being. Because the best gift you can give yourself and others is by becoming who you came here to be. But it starts by feeling loved and nurtured and supported by the universe and Mother Earth, feeling safe to be here on the Earth Star. Safe to unpack your divine potential. So just allow yourself to receive this gift of connectedness, of centeredness in this now moment, of just being, and of receiving love, as the flower of love is surrounding you right now, like a warm blanket, supporting you with frequencies and codes of divine love, holding you in this space. And there's nothing you have to do. You do not have to be more, do more. She's just there supporting you. So just receive this gift of love and allow it to radiate even more within your being. Because you are worthy of receiving love, of being love and giving love. And as we come to a place of completion, let love sink within your physical body, within your field. The frequencies and vibrations of love are supporting you, and they will support you as long as you would like. Because you are worthy of it by just being. And that is what they wanted to share with you in this now moment. So for now, feel how you are sitting in your chair, how your feet are connected with Mother Earth. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, very beautiful. And also my sense is that awareness of scribing a book, bringing forward your message, it is an act of love. And so this flower of love, Divine Wholeness Activation, as a part of this conversation around scribing your book at the speed of light, is also a supporting energy for those of you who are ready to engage in that act of love and bring your message out into the forefront. And Kim, I'm sure you were an amazing architect in your previous life, and I'm so glad that the world has access to your teachings and your ascended mastery and your gifts. So it's really a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and inviting each of you to pick up Activating the Flower of Love, a sacred guide to manifesting your deepest desires and highest calling. It's available on Amazon. We'll include the link in the show notes, and it's really a beautiful journey as well of weeding out from your garden that which isn't required and then moving into these frequencies. So as we're wrapping up, any closing message you want to share, Kim?
I just want to invite people to really become who they came here to be, to really trust yourself, trust the guidance you feel within yourself, your deep desires, as they are guiding you in the direction of your highest calling, because your highest calling is joyful. It is something you've always done. It's something you really like to do. So really to step into the funness of life. And I wanted to thank you for this opportunity, but also for all you've contributed to my amazing journey and for all where I'm standing right now. So much love and appreciation for you and the team of Divine Transmissions.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Yay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks, Kim, and much love and blessings as we continue forth into unpacking who it is that we are. All right.
Thank you,
everyone.